Welcome back. Episode 31 of the Full Program Golf Podcast. As always, it is me, Josh Conlon, joined by Stevie McIlroy. And today we've got Will Hawksworth, as we know him, Crouch, in the studio with us. We're going to be covering all things Masters, lots to get into. Let's get into it. Stevie Crouchy, great
Hello.
to have you on. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me back. I thought you'd have sent me some FPG merch, actually, seeing as I've got my second cap, but it's not arrived yet, sadly. Having to don some baby blue. But anyway,
do you know what? You were given the option when the first order was put in, and we heard nothing from you. So the only person to blame is yourself, as Josh and I rep the FPG today.
What is that? Is that the Yorkshire Rose, is it? No?
That's the Yorkshire Rose with a couple of Essex swords underneath.
Of course it is.
Little combo job from Conlon McIlroy.
Lovely. I love the dovetailing you've done there.
Yeah, I did say to Josh, I was just like, have you noticed it's dangerously close to the Sheffield United badge?
It's completely different. It's completely different. The blades, they go a different way. Don't you worry, I knew, and I was looking at it enough to go, is it? Nah, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. They're not anyway. No one would know who they are. You know, if it was an owl,
then
it might be. Yeah, it might be seen globally. Especially now we're going to get the Storch takeover, the big US billionaire. So we're going to come hooting back. I was going to say roaring, but just to keep it in line with the owls.
What's the like League One situation saying? Are you feeling, right owner comes in, you're going to bounce straight back up? Like where's the morale as we come into the last couple of games of the championship?
So before we came on the podcast, you told me not to swear, so that's a really dangerous question. Given the EFL continue to have their wicked way with my beautiful golf club, my beautiful football club, I'd use other phrases and terminologies that I'd like everyone to think of right now. They are an awful organisation, and they are continuing to pillage my wonderful club. We're getting another 15-point deduction next year just because our previous owner decided not to pay any bills, and he's also put us in administration. So just because we were owned by one very questionable man, and again, I'm still working really hard not to swear at this point, we are being punished for that. So why punish the previous owner who caused all the trouble when in fact you can punish the football club and the fans? So your answer in short there is going to be a no, we won't bounce back next season because we'll start on -15. At this point, I'd just like to have more than 12 senior players in the squad. I think that'd be a pretty good starting point. But hey, before then, I've got heartbreak with England to come yet, so we'll worry about the next one after that.
A big summer ahead. Well, Crouchy, it is great to have you back on again. It feels like a special pod, and so we thought we'd make it special
by
bringing someone special.
You've called the right man
on tonight.
Yeah. As you should.
You can define special whichever way you want. Obviously, It's a Masters breakdown. Finished last Sunday, the 90th Masters. Rory McIlroy goes back-to-back, wins by 1. Josh, I'm going to throw it to you. That's where I want to go first. The McIlroy double. Give us your thoughts.
It's just boring, isn't it? like it is. It is. It's like genuinely, and this is a fact. Genuinely, when Rose missed the putt on 17, that tiddler, I turned the TV off and I went to sleep. I had no interest in watching Rory McIlroy win it again. No interest. Don't care. Bored of it. And you know what? It's actually not Rory's fault that I just can't stand it. It's the incessant droning on about him and the tongue being stuck so far up his arse by Nick Doherty, by Ewan Murray, by Andrew Coulthard, by the whole Sky team. It's an absolute joke. You can't actually talk about another golfer. You see every one of his shots. Okay, he won it this time, but you'd see every one of his shots either way. It's boring. It's unbearable. So that's that. I could drone on for a while about it, but yeah, good win. He played well Thursday, Friday, and just about hung on because Saturday, Sunday wasn't convincing at all.
Yeah, and I think this year really struggled to have a narrative. Like last year, it went into it and it was still the Grand Slam chase. And you can be as big a Rory fan as you want. I think the fact that he was chasing the Grand Slam last year was big. Whereas to me, it felt this year no one really wanted to win it, and everyone kind of just fell away, and he just was kind of the last man standing. And so I don't think it's going to go down as a great Masters. Crouchy, throw it to you. Did you find any joy in the McIlroy win?
No. By Sunday, I've got to admit, it got interesting sort of after 9, maybe. Got interesting after, what was it, the 5th when he made double on that par 3.
Yeah.
Then it was sort of interesting, but yeah, I mean, Cam Young just went off the boil, and McIlroy, like Josh says, he just sort of was hanging around. I think it was more a case of he just ran out of holes to mess it up, to be honest. I think if golf was like 21 holes, I think he would have found a way to just poo the bed, for a correct term.
Sorry to just jump in there. Just the par 3 is the 4th. Come on, we watch Augusta every year.
The 4. I didn't actually watch his double. It was I just saw it. But it was interesting for probably an hour, and then it became very uninteresting. And I don't think, to be fair, you look at his tee shot off 18, it was just like a absolute lash swipe. Should never have even been playable. It was like 80 yards from the edge of the fairway, or however far away it was, and he was absolutely fine. It was just a very lackluster finish, not the exciting finish of last year for sure.
It felt very much like when Patrick Reed won. And obviously McIlroy was one who fell away, because that was a year where there were quite a few contenders and no one wanted to win it. And Reed kind of just went out there. I think he shot like 1 under that day, but didn't have to do lights out, didn't really have to do anything, and just at the end had a green jacket. And that was very much how it felt. Certainly the back 9. Rose got off to that crazy start, like five birdies front 9, 4 birdies front 9, got himself to 12, got himself to the winning score, and then just stuck it in reverse, Terry, didn't he? Just stick it in reverse, Terry.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it. I have to say, just before we move on to Rose, I think there's a lot to unpack there. I would say my least favourite type of golf tournament is when someone gets out to a really big lead halfway through, because then it's just like, well, either it's going to be like the foregone conclusion, or it's going to be the disaster blow up. And I can't really be bothered to talk about the blow up. I don't like talking about blow ups. And so when McIlroy was that far ahead at the halfway, I was just like, whatever happens from here is not going to be that interesting. To his credit, I don't think he played that well all week. I think Thursday he got an unbelievable score out of where he hit it. Friday, I think he did play well, and then he obviously just clung on for dear life, did play well on the back 9 on Sunday. But let's move it across to Rose. Josh, start with you. Was there at any point where you thought it was the year?
Honestly, no. And I don't know why, because I'm very quick to get excitable. And I agree with you, just finishing off with McIlroy. And I said this on the Saturday morning, and I was nearly right with that. Bad predictions in the bets, but nearly right in this. And I said, anyone who's 90th out of 91 driver accuracy is going to struggle at some point. You can't just keep bailing yourself out hole in putts. You're just not going to get away with it throughout. Interestingly, though, I think it shows that driver accuracy is becoming a redundant stat, and it's actually just driver distance, because he was taking out all of the big trouble by just driving over bunkers, driving past trouble, and then being able to almost just chip it up. So I just wanted to touch on those 2 points there. We've sort of finished off McIlroy. Coming over to Rose, he was fantastic. I thought he was fantastic right up until 11, the second shot into 11, and then I felt like he just started. He hit a sensible shot into 11. It wasn't a good shot, made bogey. Really poor chip on 12 that I couldn't believe what I was watching, and then the 3-putt on 13. Un-Justin Rose like. He's normally a very tidy golfer, right? That's what we've come to know. He's world number 4 for a reason now. But again, and I have text proof. On Sunday afternoon, when he hit the front, one of the boys, Chasey, was saying, it's time to believe you're getting excitable. And I just said, I just don't believe it's his year this year. I just didn't feel it. And maybe in my heart inside, I was like, yeah, but if I say that, maybe it'll work. And maybe I like double do it because obviously I'm really making an impact on the Masters, obviously. But no, I didn't fancy him this year. I didn't fancy him to win it. And I don't know why, because he was playing good enough golf the whole way through.
Crouchy, any belief from your side?
Yeah, when he got to 12, what was he, two clear, 12, and the nearest was 10.
Yeah.
And then, he had a bit of a shaky 11th, missed it long left on 12, and then hit a cookie chip and just duffed it. And then he actually held like 4.5, 5 footer for the bogey, which was quite good. And then when he knocked it to 20 foot on 13, I thought, he can get one back. And then Nope just rams it through, misses it. And then by that time, all the wind's out of his sails. And it doesn't matter if he's got 2 par 5s in the last 6 holes or whatever, he's not birding either of them because his head's gone, and that's that. So no, I don't. I would have liked him to have had more of a chance, but he bogeyed, missed it, put a terrible swing on his second shot in 17, pulled it long left, and then hit a poor pitch and bogey, and that was good night Vienna. So no, in short, I didn't. I wanted it. Believe me, I really wanted it, but I wanted it more than McIlroy. But no, I never believed it would happen. Unfortunately,
You're confusing holes and shots as well. You just do my head in.
I'm not 17 hit about.
He went left on 14. He went left on 14 at a great chip, made par. 17, he went short right, chipped it up to about 1.5 foot, 2 foot, and missed an absolute tiddler down the slope.
Okay. Well, yeah,
he missed my autistic being able to record golf shots coming out.
He pulled it left, and they were like, "It's the worst shot he's hit all week."
It was interesting. I was just going to say, it was interesting to. I don't know if you saw Rose's comment afterwards, and he said, interesting to hear him even say this. He said he felt like the momentum had gone when he 3-putted 13. Really, really interesting to hear that. And he felt he could have got something back if he'd have made the 4. It was a really unJustin Rose performance.
That was the moment, and I was excited around the turn. I thought McIlroy had a lot of good opportunities ahead of him. So I always think when you're a couple of groups ahead, yes, you're 2 ahead, but I don't think you're 100%. It's a kind of real 2 shots, if that makes sense. 13 was the killer. I mean, 13 was a bad 3-putt. There's no other way to put it. You could see how much he wanted it. I think almost he showed he wanted it too much. Where did he hit it right off the tee? Was it 14 or 17, I feel, Josh?
17, he hit it right.
17, he hit it right like every day, didn't he, almost? Certainly Saturday and Sunday, he just hit it and then he'd like swing round and just be...
But the minute he hit it, he was kind of cursing the dirt in front of him. And it did bounce out. He got a lucky break, but you could just see it was almost just unraveling there for him. It was a real shame. 12 was not a crazy number. I think if you'd have told a lot of those guys on the back 9 that 12 would have been a playoff, I actually think you may have seen more people there. Because in the end, it was like, people like Hatton were almost the closest. So, I think a lot of players thought it was going to be 13, 14, and they were really pushing and ultimately unraveled. One interesting thing, did you see Justin Rose had the mini driver in this week? And he played it a lot off the tee. I think that's what he hit a really good tee shot on 13. I think that was mini driver. I'm not sure I've seen him play that club before.
I don't think 13 would have hurt him as bad if he'd have missed the green with his second and made 5. If he'd missed it left and not got up and down. It's the fact that he flags his approach shot.
Did you see the shot tracer?
He did. He looked like it went miles right. Almost went, oh my God. and it lands, he nearly holds it. But if he'd have missed the green and then just made like a standard 5, I think it's the fact that he flagged it. It just such a kick in the nuts, isn't it? I mean, you ask any decent, even us 3, knock it on a par 5 in 2, you're gagging for a 4, aren't you? You just, if you make 5, 3 whack it, you just want to hurt yourself walking to the next tee. Yeah. So no, it wasn't to be, was it? Sadly.
Wasn't to be. Any comments on the setup? I mean, Josh, you made a comment about driver accuracy there. I do think Augusta, apparently they've trimmed a lot of the trees. Like they do trim a lot of the trees so that it's just kind of trunks when you go into them to kind of almost goad you into playing that shot. There's quite a lot of chat about watering the greens or not watering the greens. It looked like it was going to be super hard and fast all week, and then Friday they kind of softened it up a bit. Personally, I thought it was great from a course perspective. I think Augusta turns up every year. I think it's a fantastic tournament course. But any thoughts on the course?
I thought the setup for Thursday and Friday. I mean, watching the TV, the greens almost looked like purpley brown. They looked like they were rock hard. And then exactly Saturday comes round and they're soft. I want it to be as hard as possible. I mean, it's a major championship for a reason. Make them weep on, I want them to suffer. It's 4 times a year. I mean, you may as well make it as hard as possible. Every other tour event, every week, is just twat it as far as you can, wedge it out, and it's a putting comp. So I think it should be firm and fast. I know Scotty Scheffler said, didn't he, that he wished that it was set up Thursday, Friday. He wished it was set up Saturday, Sunday like it was Thursday, Friday, whereas he felt like it was 2 different golf courses. But yeah, who are we to critique the setup of Augusta? But we could definitely give it a go.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because Scheffler's complaining about the setup, and he was even par through 2 days and 11 under finish. Like, I don't think you do want it to be that hard, Scotty, because you'd have finished right at the back of the pack, whereas instead you finished second.
Yeah, true. Would he have gone? What was he, bogey free on the weekend?
Yeah, first time anyone's ever done it
on the weekend if the greens were like the M1 and it was just rock hard. I doubt it. So would he have made a charge through the pack if the course had been crazy hard? I'm not sure.
I have to say, I really, really enjoyed his charge over the weekend. Like, I just thought he was this looming shark, and he almost did it, didn't he? I mean, that putt on 17 was really, really close, but I thoroughly enjoyed the Scheffler march down. If it was 5 rounds, as in, he would be the champion 100% in my mind.
Yeah, he would. I think with another 5 or 6 holes, he would have just won outright, and everyone else would have wilted. He just comes out of nowhere, doesn't he? I mean, he's there. He's obviously so unbelievable. He's world number 1, but he's like the most understated, underrated, or not underrated, but no one really pays much attention to him. He gets to sort of 10th or 12th, and then all of a sudden he just swims to the surface, and he's like second. He's just flying, and no one sees him coming.
It's almost like the Jaws, when you've got like the swimmer and then the shark looking up. Maybe we have to create the little animation of Scheffler looking up, and there's like just a few golfers just swimming along.
McIlroy's the swimmer.
Oh dear, very good. Right, I'm just going to cast my eye down the leaderboard. There are a couple of players that I think qualify themselves in the fall away pack. Now, the first one, who I think is becoming a bit of a cult hero, Hatton was having a great week until the 13th on Sunday. What on earth did he do there?
He had it. He had a bad 20 minutes, didn't he?
He really did. 12 and 13 were just like... I was going to use the Shay Given quote that he said, so anyone that's heard that one will know what I was going to say, but I'm not going to say that. He had a bad time, didn't he? Wow.
I enjoyed the post that he did.
6-13.
Yeah, I enjoyed the post that you did on Instagram, where is that little like...
Yeah, it was really good.
Rice farmer, just wait.
What worth mentioning also, just like great blow-ups, is there was quite a lot of chatter on social on the Thursday about Freddie Couples and how well he was doing and all the rest of that. One of the great body bags was his final, I think it was 5 holes on Thursday. It was just like, he finished way back.
He made 9 on, he finished quad double, par double, and so he was like 9 over for the last 4 or 5 holes. I remember looking at the leaderboard. I wasn't watching it, and I saw Fred Couples was 2 under. I was thinking, and Jose Maria Olazabal was 2 under at some point. Yeah. I was thinking, what is going on here?
It was like watching Greg finish off his 72-hole golf challenge, just padding along. He's out of breath. He's finished. Freddie Couples, I imagine he's got his shoes, his socks off. He's just padding along. He's just dragging himself forwards.
Oh, that was good. But to the weekend, a couple of really disappointing weekends from Fleetwood and Patrick Reed, I thought. Fleetwood, not as surprised as Patrick Reed. I actually really thought Patrick Reed was going to contend. I thought he was looking really good through the first 2 days.
Yeah, I was scared that Patrick Reed might win, to be honest. I mean,
I was kind of up for it. Full carnage.
Well, it would have made it sort of semi-interesting, wouldn't it? But no one deep down really wants to see him slipping his arms in a green jacket on Sunday evening, do they? So I was glad on that front. But yeah, Patrick Reed, having won there before, his short game, by the way.
Oh, whoa!
I read a thing. His lob wedge is 7 degrees flat. 7 degrees. 7 degrees flat. So that that's why he can hit like such unbelievable short-sided lob shots, because he lays the handle down and the club just sits flat. The toe doesn't stick way in the air. It's a 7-degree flat lob wedge, purely for like tight courses, tight light courses, Augusta, where he's, short game is important. His lob wedge is 7 flat.
Okay, quick question for the group. Who would be your number one, if you go back in time, your number one least favourite winner? Josh, start with you.
Of the Masters?
Of the Masters last week.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good question. Number one least favourite winner? Well, McIlroy last year, because I wanted Rose to win. I was absolutely gutted.
No, 2026. If it could still be McIlroy, could be your answer.
I was going to go 2025 McIlroy. Absolutely gutted. Not happy about it at all.
It's such a typical you answer that.
Oh God!
There's a Grand Slam. I hated it. Didn't enjoy it.
They wanted Rose to win.
I'd go with Reed, to be honest. I just think he's
really.
Yeah, I just think he's an S house.
I tell you who would have been right up there, and I've got absolutely nothing against the bloke, but there was just like a moment on Sunday where it was like Russell Henley might have a chance here, and if Russell Henley would have won, that would have been one of those Masters that in 10 years' time, you know when Sky Sports just like queues up the "This is how the Masters won" episodes, and you're like, right, which ones am I going to tuck into? Like Phil 04, perfect, Tiger 19, love it, and it's like Henley 26.
Henley 26.
Yeah, you're like, I'll have the darts on.
Yeah, that would definitely have been a tough watch for sure. Actually, it's like, have you ever seen Chronicles of a Champion Golfer that they do on Sky?
Yeah.
It's like the Brian Harmon one. It's just I don't think they've even made one for him, because they just know no one's going to watch it.
I mean, worst Open winner in the last 20 years, surely.
He's up there. Yeah, definitely up
there. So Crouch, Patrick Reed. Well, I did think you would say Rory, to be honest, Josh. I thought you'd at least stick to this year, but a predictable answer nonetheless. Further down we go. Bad weeks from a couple of the big live fishes. Rahm and Bryson. I said, I mean, in the betting stuff that we spoke about before, I really fancied Rahm. I thought he was playing well. Data Golf's obviously got him at number 2. Live Golf generally, what was it? Hatton was the best finisher, but not a good performance by a lot of their players.
No, they struggled, and obviously by the sounds of the news that's coming out, it seems like DeChambeau's going to have plenty of time to practice his bunker shots, which he needs to do, because they were appalling. I mean, both of his triples were because he couldn't get out the sand. Like, what are you doing? You can make double to make the cut, and he makes triple on 18. It's just brilliant, isn't it? You've just got to enjoy it. But yeah, appalling showing. Was really, really surprised at DeChambeau. Was very surprised at Rahm's round 1. I mean, he was fairly solid 2, 3, and 4, but the damage was done. As I'd mentioned in the pre-Masters sort of warm-up conversation we had, that I fancied Garcia as a bit of an outsider, and again he got himself kind of in position, and then wow, did he just lose his rag or what? Appalling behaviour.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a time and a place to. Can you remember? I remember watching the Players a few years ago, and Keith Mitchell hit a tee shot right before the horn went off for weather. Can you remember? Have you seen it? Have you seen the clip? So
No.
it hits a tee shot somewhere on Sawgrass, carves it way right, and literally as the ball's at the apex of its flight, the horn goes, and it's going in the water, and he just turns around and just absolutely just takes a chunk out of the tee box at Sawgrass, and exactly the same as Garcia did. Obviously, Keith Mitchell's wasn't as bad as Garcia's, but there's certain things you do and don't do at Augusta, and digging up the tee box with your driver and then twatting it against the water cooler. Is definitely two of the things that you probably wouldn't do.
I've listened to a lot of things about Garcia, and a lot of people say that, when he hosts charity events or if he's done work with content creators, he's always really, really nice, really engaging, hospitable, all the rest of it. he just has this now catalogue of moments where you're just like, you are such an arse. Like, what was he doing? Did you see the thing where he like fake threw his ball at his caddy as well? Just like,
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
like, what?
I enjoyed that one.
added that to your list of tricks.
Yeah.
I'm trying that. Whoa!
Next time I'm at fan court, just. Well, you got Sam Valley this summer. That'll show.
Like that. Eric will drop me back and walk off.
Yeah, Garcia. Back to Bryson very quickly and talking about people kind of Bryson obviously has this big, like, happy, a bit like I just described Garcia, very happy, outgoing, engaging, man of the people, blah, blah, blah. When it's not going well for Bryson, he regularly puts bad performances in. He gave a couple of really snippy interviews. Like in Adelaide, when Anthony Kim won, he was obviously annoyed he hadn't won, and Anthony Kim's like celebrating this historic win, and Bryson's just like trying to get in there to like sign the card, and you're just like, mate, read the room. Like, he just, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Bryson fan, I have to say.
Well, but talking of snippy interviews, I really enjoyed Scotty Scheffler's post.
Oh yeah, terrible
Saturday.
question.
It was a bad question.
Terrible question, Nick. I mean, what could have or should have the score been? Shut up, you clown. Should have just had your media pass ejected.
The worst thing is that man asking that question is in the ballot to play Augusta. I mean,
appalling.
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
appalling.
What are we talking about?
Couple of other players that went backwards that I was actually really, really surprised at, and a notable name who I've mentioned on the pod a few times as someone who, you know what, you trade his bank balance, doesn't win nearly enough as he should. Shane Lowry, Mr. 80. Mr. Sunday 80. Now, I did not see him shooting an 80 on a Sunday. He shot the same as Hao Tong Lee. Hao Tong Lee did it in 2 holes. Shane just did it over 18, you know? As a Stableford adjustment, Hao Tong Lee's got him. Comfortable.
I wonder if Shane's got a bit of PTSD from when he gassed it. What tournament did he blow up on the PGA Tour about 6 weeks ago? Was it the Cognizant?
Honda.
Yeah, where he just
got
to like 16 or something and then just decided that he didn't know how to play the game anymore. So I wonder if he sort of, in the back of his mind, maybe subconsciously gets into contention and just almost expects a nightmare to arrive without having to really do much. I don't know. He had his all black outfit on, didn't he, like the Gary Player, hoping he'd slip into the green.
At this point, Shane's playing for hole-in-ones. Shane's playing for hole-in-ones, not tournament wins.
He does well. He does well on the hole-in-one front.
I saw something, and it was like this year on the PGA Tour, it's something stupid like Shane's making a hole-in-one 2% of the time on par threes. And the actual stat should be like 0.003%. So it's just like he's having and he's obviously had a crazy run on them if you extend it out as well. Obviously, it was a great shot. It was a great hole in one. So I wanted to pose this question to you boys. Josh, you probably can list the ones that he's already got.
Probably.
I could list the famous ones, I think.
Yeah, he's had 16th TPC Scottsdale.
7 at Pebble.
7 at Pebble. He's had
Sawgrass.
Now,
not Scottsdale.
Sorry, yeah. He's had now the 6th and the 4th. No, 6th and 16th at Augusta, 7th at Pebble, and 17th at Sawgrass are like the 4 big ones that he's got, aren't they?
So the question to the group is, if you could have an ultimate next one, what do you think the kind of best par 3 out there that he's missing in the iconic lineup that he's building?
Postage stamp, true.
Do you know that's immediately where my mind went. Yeah,
I think that's that'd be a really good one. I think other contenders, 16 at TPC Scottsdale would be a good one to throw in.
6 on the Pam Barton in Surrey.
Yeah,
that's always a big one.
9 at Hallamshire is a great old top one. You can't see it going. You would have no clue. It looks like it's gone long, but you got up there and it should.
Trying to think, what else is there out there? 12 at Augusta, obviously. Imagine if he did that in three
yeah.
round there. That would be ridiculous. But yeah, I think postage stamp's probably the one. That's the one that stands out to me. So I think we agree on that one. Any more names from the leaderboard just as we kind of conclude our surf down, Joshua?
Just got a final bit of trivia actually that I want to pose to you boys. So obviously we talked about Shane Lowry's hole-in-ones. There is one man who has had more hole-in-ones than Shane Lowry since 2018, I think it is. Shane Lowry is on 5. This is on the PGA Tour. There is one man who's got more.
I know who it is. Is it Sung Jae? No, it's not Sung Jae. Is it?
You're close.
I know I am. It's Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo Kim. Lovely stuff. Great work. Thank you very much. Well, treat yourself. Other one, Alex Noren, another man who, and Sepp Straka at one point. Now I'm bringing the European names to life because really that's what I cared about. Both had a bit of runs. Best finishes for Noren at the Masters since he started. Good points. Sepp was vibes in a way for a little while. I was really excited at one point, but he kind of just fell away a little bit. But just enjoyed seeing the names. Now there was on Friday evening when the leaderboard was essentially McIlroy running away with it, but then you had Rose, you had Lowry, Fleetwood was up there at that point. Two of our friends, Elliot and Ryan, had a bet, and it was you take either US player or the rest of the field, which was essentially Europe. Ryan obviously had the US, and Elliot took the rest of the field. Now, I'm sure it was a lot closer than they both thought it would be, but I thought it was quite an interesting bet that they put on Friday night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Europe has had a really good Masters run of late, has it not? I can't think, but in my mind, there's just lots of Europeans at that Champions Dinner.
I think it's a real. I think Europeans are better shot makers than the Americans as like across the board, and I think that Augusta is. I mean, if you look at that shot that Cam Young hit into 8, a par 5 up the hill on the final day, where there's the big mounds past the flag, and you hit it, and the crowd's going.
Yeah.
It's almost like he knows it's coming back, but the crowd just don't expect it. I mean, they're the sort of shots that you have to hit around there. You know, going straight to the flag isn't an option. You're using slopes and this, that, and the other. It's like I just think it suits Europeans a lot more, especially if it's firm and fast and, you know, fiddly. I think Americans are just like, I'm going to stay up there, give me driver, I'm going to lace it, and I'll work it out from there. Which is why I think that's why I think Bryson's maybe struggled a bit. I know we've moved on from that, but just touching back up on it, winning back-to-back live events, he's got to have been thinking, you know, I'm gonna be right up there. But I just don't think they have, like Steve says, you know, I just don't think they have the shots that we are brought up sort of having right, and it transcends, I think.
Joshua, lots of bets went on last week. Were there any like top 8 winners? Like how did they conclude your half the field that you took?
Yeah, so I put £65 worth of bets on. And really pleased to say that £66.80 came back. So,
very good.
You know, I'm a winner, right?
You're a businessman.
Yeah. You know, money is my passion. Business is my life. You know, all that sort of vibe. So yeah, the payouts came via a few men. Tyrrell Hatton just doing bits for the boys. I slotted him in at 45 to 1, as we know. Justin Rose got my boy. You got to have your boy. As I moved down the lead, Patrick Reed got T12, and Paddy Power were paying out to top 12. There are other betting companies you can use, just to put that out there. And then they were the only 3 that hit, but they all paid out handsomely, which was nice. Nearly fancied a Koepka, he'd got me at a T12, and I did have a Fitzpatrick, who we haven't mentioned, and was actually quite disappointing, who finished 1 shot outside of what would have been the paying places. So, pretty happy with the bets. My tip of Nikolai Højgaard that I felt really, really, really strong about, actually. And you know what? we sometimes get things wrong. And, takes a big man to be able to stand up and say, you know what? I got it wrong. I still believe he's going to get it right.
I coached a few people I didn't have a single bet, but I coached people into having some money on Corey Connors because I just thought he's a really good iron player, decent putter, hits an absolute perfect draw every time. I thought I can see him doing all right. I didn't think he'd win, but I think he might nuzzle like a top 6, 7. And he was useless. Anyway, so I apologise to anyone that my request or my.
What would be quite funny is now, obviously, Josh, you're taking big swings, hoping for a big win, but you've got yourself a return of £1, whatever
60.
it was, 60 pence. I wonder what the equivalent bet would have been for Scotty Scheffler to finish in the top to give you the same return. What do you reckon? Scheffler top 40? That's a good question. It really is a good question.
Did you see the guy
who
on Cam Young to not win? Did you see that American guy?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it. I did hear about that.
$100,000 on Cam Young to not win to win 35k or something.
At the end of Saturday, wasn't it?
I think it was. I bet he was a nervous man at one point.
No, I actually just didn't think he was going to win it. I said in a video put out the day before, I was just like, when you play a absolute lights out round Saturday, especially if you've not done it before, I think it takes a lot to go again on Sunday.
So it's always. I mean, we spoke about this last time, but it's always important. It's really hard to follow up a low one with another low one. I thought he was always nailed on for a 70 odd the day after.
It would have been a story though, wouldn't it? Going out in 4 over 40.
Yeah,
final round, last man to do it would have been Tiger. I mean, I can't think of someone else who's done it.
Yeah,
would have been some statement.
There was an interesting stat that the last two, or bar this year, the last 2 players champions have also won the Masters in the same calendar year. I thought that would have been. I thought it was written in the stars when Scheffler won it, then McIlroy.
I think it's a good bet, as in Josh, we losing you?
I'm going to have to shoot, I'm afraid, boys. Enjoy the wrap up. Chop it up for me. Enjoy it. We'll catch you on the next one.
Pleasure. See you later.
Cheers, boy. I do think betting on the players winner now with the schedule how it is, I think is a good bet. I think they're coming in with form. They've also got a big tournament behind them.
Yeah.
So I wasn't surprised to see him do well, but
I'm not sure I agree with this whole sort of conversation of it should be the 5th major and that sort of thing. I mean, there's people on Twitter or X that are real advocates for, we should have 5. I mean, just no, you shouldn't. It should not be. Great, wrong. It's probably the best event it is the best event on the PGA Tour, but just leave
100%, and leave it being the best event on the PGA Tour. I think it's really, really simple. The PGA Championship has to go back to the end of the season. McIlroy said it. The PGA, its brand should be the last shot of glory.
The closing part.
Whereas at the minute, it's just a sandwiched major. It's a sandwiched in 4th major, and
I agree. I think if you'd like a Justin Thomas who's only won 2 PGA championships, I think if he retired tomorrow, I think he'd be very disappointed that they were his 2 major wins. I think it's definitely a meaningless major, or the one that the players would want to win the least.
I mean, which major champion do you think has the least value in the game today? And my argument,
unless you Rich Beam and then you absolutely made up at the fact that you won the PGA and you're dining out on it forever.
So that's where I was going. I was going Rich Beam is probably, bless his heart, he's great on Sky Sports. He's probably the most insignificant major champion he
loves it, doesn't he? He'll slip it in whenever he can. Did you know I won the 2000 and whatever PGA?
So funny. Right, Crouchy, I've got a couple of closing hypothetical questions for you to put a cherry on this Masters cake that we've been baking.
Okay.
Question that got battered around. If you can hit 1 golf shot on Augusta National, where are you going to put your ball and what are you going to hit?
I would go tee shot on. I'd just play the 12th. Tee shot on 12. I think that's it's a fairly the hole that everyone knows. It's the famous hole. I can't say I'd do overly well on it, but
I heard a couple saying they'd want to hit a 205-yard shot into 15.
I was going to say, my second pick would be just a second. I'd like to just larrick a 2-iron from like 250 into the, just to see if I'd just pitch it on the back of the green and shoot it straight into the pond at the end of 16.
Probably.
Yeah. So it would be 12 followed by the second shot into 15 for sure.
And so I suppose that answers the question. Favorite hole on the course would be 12.
I like 15, to be honest. I think there's it's late in the round, but it's not too late in the round. There's a lot that can go wrong or right on that hole. You've seen people lay up and then fat it, and people go for it, hit it long. I think 12 is obviously an amazing hole and a very, very famous hole, but I do like 15. I think 15 is a good hole.
For me, I think 13 is the best hole in the world.
Oh, it's a bold call.
That is a bold call, but I really do. It's just got everything. Like,
yeah, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you, but 13 is a great hole. Do you think the tee shot? I don't think the tee shot really matches the second shot, does it? I think once you sort of nerdle it in play, then the hole becomes magical.
But these days, I don't think it's a nerdle anymore because they've stuck that tee so far back. They've bought land and bought land and bought land. Now you've got a situation where you either hit a drawing driver, which is a difficult golf shot and ends up with a lot of people in the pines straight, or you're hitting a 3-wood, which they hit much better, but then you're leaving yourself a much longer shot into the green side slopes. It has so many different elements, both off the tee and then second shot. And then even if you lay up, like, it's then not a straightforward either. If you find it, if you lay up on the right side, you're almost equally as stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the second shot from the fairway. I mean, we obviously can't tell on the TV how slopey that is, but to try and hoist a 4-iron from 220, 230 when the ball's literally at head height to you must be difficult.
There's a video out there of Tiger hitting a second into that green from the green, and it's just like you're like, whoa, like unbelievable. And for me, like, I think of like iconic golf shots. I watched a video of like Faldo hitting it on there, Mickelson from the tree. I mean, there's just been some absolutely unbelievable moments. So yeah, absolutely love that hole.
Yeah.
So then I segue. We've enjoyed ourselves around Amen Corner there with those questions. You've not been to the Masters, am I right in thinking?
I've not been to the Masters. No, a few lads from the golf club just got back actually, and they said obviously you can't have any phones in there, but when they've come out of the property, they've said it is beyond your wildest dreams. That place, it's like Wonka's factory. It is just like enchanting, unbelievable. So no, in short, I have not been.
So two questions for you. You have your ticket. What's the plan? What's the viewing plan? Because I think there needs to be strategy. And so you got your green chair. You're on property for the first time. What would you do if you were in charge?
So I think I don't know the course enough to know like what holes are adjacent to other holes, but I would probably plonk myself in and around 11, 12 area, and then have a wander to what I'm assuming is back up the hill to another finishing hole. But I'd plonk my chair. If I could choose, I'd sit bang in the middle of the tee box, front row, and I'd look left to watch people hoiking it into the pond left of 11, or watch people hitting down onto 11 and clap them up as they come onto the 12th tee, watch them fat it into Ray's Creek, toddle off down the tee box, pick my green chair up, pack it away, walk up the hill, and then just fight through the crowds to see one shot for the last 6 holes.
Yeah, I think that would have to play the kind of left corner of the bottom left corner of the tee box on 12 must be the most elite position on that golf course, and they obviously can't run, and so I love the videos where you see the old boys getting let through the gate at 6 a.m, like sprint walking,
just like that straight leg power walking.
Oh dear. So you've dropped your chair. You dropped your chair at 12. And they decided to take yourself to the most successful merchandise shop in the golfing calendar.
$70 million per Masters week.
Just wild, isn't it? Now, hit us with some items. Like, I think you got to go in there with a bit of a shopping list. Like, how wild would you go? How wide would you stretch the?
So as you know, I'm not an avid pro shop buyer.
Well, no. Well, I texted you, didn't I? And I was like, you would buy something, wouldn't you?
yeah, you did. I would buy. So separately, there's obviously, I've heard from one of the lads who's been there a few times. There's 2 different pro shops in there in Augusta. So out of Masters Week, you can buy Augusta National golf club gear that isn't branded in the Masters. That's the stuff that you really want that you're never going to get on, because
unbelievable.
That's like the Sunningdale Lone Tree. You know, if you know, you know. If you don't, you've not been. So I would buy a couple of caps. None of these ones that say like Azalea on them, or none of that.
Did you see egg salad?
No, I've not seen that one, but that's never been made. I'd buy just a nice white, green rope Augusta or Masters emblem.
Yeah.
I'd buy a nice Peter Millar polo that I'd never wear, but I'd know I've got it. Enjoy it. I'd buy one of those gnomes that everyone.
Would you go gnome? Would you?
Yeah, I'd buy a gnome. Why not? Just stick in a cupboard somewhere. And if the opportunity arose, but apparently all the caddies buy them, I would buy one of the Scotty Cameron Masters limited edition thing. But apparently the caddies just snaffle them up every year.
Yeah, I wasn't. I think they might have stopped doing them. I was reading something on it, but they obviously they used to do it, and I know
do irons and all sorts, didn't they? Sets of access.
Yeah, I actually know someone with one of the Scotty jobbies. But yeah, I thought I read somewhere that Scotty Cameron stopped doing them, but that'd be another one of those things that you just never use, but you just have.
Just a Masters alignment stick cover as well. I think that'd look quite nice in my bag. A little leather, nice soft leather number. I'd have one of those. I wouldn't go mental. Probably spend about $1,000 just on those 5 items because
I was going to say that sounds relatively controlled to me.
Yeah, well, you got to think about your luggage on the way home, haven't you? You don't want to pay an empty seat.
Absolutely. Well, okay. Let me just scan my list. Have I got anything left for you before we depart? Oh yeah, I thought it was quite interesting actually, and we were texting back and forth on it. Went down a bit of a rabbit hole on Augusta. Is it president or chairman? Whatever Fred Ridley is. Fred Ridley was
chairman.
Chairman. Fred Ridley was an absolute stick back in the day. US amateur winner in '79, I believe it was. He was the last ever US amateur winner to never turn professional. Just became a lawyer. I think he then was president of the USGA for a decade or so, and now finds himself donning the green jacket on Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, he's quite he's not an elusive character because everyone sees him every year, doesn't he? But no, I don't think anyone really thinks to sort of investigate who he is, where he's from, whether he even plays golf, or if he's just like a corporate figure that they just stick in front of the cameras. But yeah, I was really surprised to see that he won the US Am and he played in X, Y, and Z and Walker Cup. I think he's played as well way back when. Yeah. So yeah, a baller. He could step in if needed, if somebody needed a 2-ball making up.
Yeah.
What's that guy called that used to play? Scott? Is it Scott someone?
I was about to ask you, and he's an unbelievable putter apparently, and I think he beat McIlroy by 1 when they played together.
He did. I don't think he still plays. You never see him on TV, do you? But yeah, maybe they could give the gig to Ridley if needed.
I mean, I'm not surprised I don't see him on TV. I saw the breakdown of how many golf shots were shown by players, and basically, if you went in the top 4, it was just I don't really, the coverage, the app's cool, I suppose you can go in and watch it, but like the amount of people complaining, especially in America with adverts and everything else, like the coverage is tough.
Did you see what Kisner put on? He put a screenshot, or not a screenshot, he put a thing on that he texted
Colt Knott. Yeah.
Colt Knott saying, I'm better off following it on the PGA Tour app. Are you going to show a shot, or do you ever show any shots on CBS?
Yeah, I mean, it was bad. It was fine. I think we've got it all right in the UK. Like, I think in the US, adverts come pretty thick and fast, and
we have the Rolex hour, don't we, over here, where you sort of get uninterrupted.
Yeah, and I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
it was absolutely fine. Yeah. Anyway, 90th Masters in the books. McIlroy back to back. Last question, parting question. You're at the Champions Dinner, which, I mean, like, you're much closer to getting to that Champions Dinner than I ever am.
I'm as close as my dog is to getting in that Champions Dinner. And she is not close.
They talk about the pockets where everyone sits. Where would you, who would you like to find yourself in between?
I'd sit near Phil because he's got some good stories, I'd imagine.
I'm actually just reading his book from the Alan Shipnuck Phil book. I literally started it yesterday. And there's some good stories.
Yeah, I think Phil would be a good laugh.
You're just a lefty through and through, aren't you?
Yeah, cut me open and I'm just bleed it.
You're gonna have Mike Weir on the other side.
Yeah, I'd go Phil and Tiger. Tiger for the stories of when his demise happened and what he got up to off the pitch, and Phil for other stories.
Yeah, feed him some Petrus that McIlroy is going to put on for next year, and I'm sure they're all come pouring out.
Yeah.
All right, Crouchy, thanks for stepping in for this Masters wrap-up pod. We will see you when we see you. Me and you are actually playing some golf next week, so hopefully that will filter through onto socials in some shape or form. Waddle Spa, which I'm looking forward to. As ever, we are Full Program Golf, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and we will see you in the next one.
Cheers, mate.